columnist, frequently write articles, not in only Nepal, so to publish in internationally. He's the judge in the international advertising awards in different countries, and then he is very down to earth. I met him 2008 in Beijing. Since then, we are together, and we discuss the advertising industry, marketing industry, somewhere else. Okay, by saying that, okay, Rajani, you can start.
Am I audible, sir?
Okay, Rajani, Devendra, coordinate yourself. Okay.
And good morning to all my friends and our respected teachers. Today we have our guest lecturer, Mr. Ujay Shakya sir, with us. He have more than 15 years of experience in the field of management, advertising, and branding sector. And also he is the one who run the Nepal's one of the best advertising company, that is Outreach Nepal. And that company which developed and implemented successful advertising campaign, media and PR strategies, and also the behavior change communication programs. And they won also the campaign South Asian Independent Agency of the Year 2016 award. Not only this, the Outreach Nepal is a agency of Nepal, both nationally as well as internationally. So, along with he is the entrepreneur of the advertising company. He also wrote the book that is Brand Sutra on advertising and branding in 2015. So, along with all this, he's as Bhojraj sir also said, he's being a judge in different award ceremonies as well. So right now also there's going to be an awards ceremony in ACEF 11th Global Customer Engagement Forum and Awards at Mumbai in April 2022, and he's also one of the jury member over there. So I would like to give a huge round of applause virtually, and want to give a bouquet virtually as we are not able to present it physically. So I would like to request Devendra for the bouquet.
Okay.
Thank you. Are we going to start now? Shall we?
Devendra, it's okay.
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 So yeah, please. I mean, I think they are already giving the applause. So please welcome to our class, Ujay sir. Over to you. Thank you.
Sure.
Okay. Thank you, Rajani. Okay, Ujay sir, you can start.
Okay. First of all, good morning to all, and thank you, Dr. Bhojraj, also my friend. Like he said, we met many years back in a different country, in a different occasion, for inviting me today to speak with you all. And it's always my pleasure to be coming to these kind of young forums, forums where there are younger people like yourself. I always take this opportunity to speak with younger minds like yourself as a new learning opportunity for me as well, as the whole world are going through drastic changes, especially in the post-COVID world, and not everyone can be aware of everything that is happening around us. Even when we try our best, as there are massive changes not just in my own sectors, but all across in terms of globalization, technology, information, and many other areas which is taking place simultaneously. And that has direct or indirect implications on my business or my profession or what we want to achieve as we go along from here. And these opportunity to interact with each other could be a very good learning exercise for all of us. Yes, I would like to also thank Rajani Shrestha, who did introduce introduce me in the beginning, and I think she's done quite a homework about myself as well. And thank you very much for that warm welcome. As a professional working in advertising and brand marketing for almost 2 decades now, I have had I've started my career in year 2000, and it's almost like more than 20 years now. I welcome more younger minds like yourself to join our industry as things are transforming drastically, even in the advertising world, not just because of 2 years of COVID, but it has already started to transform even before the pre-COVID period, like before March 2022. And in fact, the COVID has only worked to expedite the whole process, not just in advertising, but in almost all the business categories. These unprecedented times for almost 2 years now have taught us many new lessons. And as a communication professional, I strongly feel that empathy is going to play a larger role in a spectrum of brand communication. And we as a Nepalese should be very proud that the concept of empathy and compassion is something Lord Buddha has been preaching the world from a very beginning. And today, it feels very good to see that this same thinking or a concept is being part of our business management and evolving marketing and advertising ecosystem. Like Vajraji said, and also your colleague Rajani introduced me. Currently, I'm heading outreach group based in Kathmandu, which actually consists of 5 business verticals specialized in brand marketing: outreach, lemon, digital in, Creo, and media reach. My book on advertising, Rajni also mentioned about it. Brand Sutra was published in the year 2015. Hopefully, some of you have heard about it or maybe get to see it in the future. I'm sure you must have heard a lot also about the clean feed policy that government has recently implemented from October 2020. And thanks to Dr. Bozraj as well, he has been an integral part of the whole process. In fact, he has been also our advisor at Advertising Association for many years. And he's also one person who has been working with our fraternity, particularly the advertising fraternity back in Advertising Association, to make sure that certain good things comes to our industry, and clean feed being one of them. Yeah. And I know he's a big advocate for the same. This new policy of clean feed going forward has opened many new opportunities for us as the advertising professional working in Nepal, as it involves creating content specific to Nepal with Nepali actors. But if we really open our minds, we don't just see it from a superficial point of view, but if we deep dive into what it is trying to achieve. Therefore, if we really open our minds and look at this opportunity, it will mean the whole process of Nepalization for many global brands. I myself have been writing about the importance of Nepalizations in different forums, especially outside Nepal, and I will later share those articles also with you all in the chat box for a ready reference. This has triggered the larger discussion on many relevant marketing topics which were largely ignored in the past. Please remember, marketing is a thinking job. Unlike sales, which is persuasive, legwork, and hardcore follow-ups. In marketing, strategy is the key to create mind space. I'm again saying strategy is the key to create mind space and perception in the consumer minds, while in sales, it's all about market share in the actual marketplace. I'm bringing it up because we seems to be always confused with sales, relationship, direct marketing, business development with marketing. Again, I want to reinforce that marketing is a thinking job and it's very different from what you achieve in sales. I think somebody will have to stay in mute. If it, Rajni? Yeah, thank you. With the change in policy and internalization of Nepalization, as a marketer, we now have to deep dive to understand consumer insights, culture, and social acceptance of each projects and bringing true brand essence in the process. Many global companies and brands, especially the one who has been interacting with me are many in my client portfolio, has taken these, these thinking very positively. And most of them are already working towards exploring such opportunity in the next new context. I'm sure you must have come across many local creatives for global brands in the recent time, which are now produced in Nepal with local actors. Some of the examples are Mountain Dew, Pepsi, Happy Dent, Center Fruits, Sunslick, Asian Paints, Himalaya Herbal Products, maybe Setwet, Lifebuoy. They do a lot of work in Daraz, Samsung, and many others. And Encel in particular has been producing many ad films which are completely produced by the local team. Happy to say that most of them are our group clients. My team has been working with this extended brand team at the client side as a one strong team to produce these campaigns and films in Nepal, which consists of both younger generations, people like yourself, I would say millennials, and experienced team, largely from Generation Y, maybe people like myself, who works together to overcome the current challenges to keep the ball rolling. We'll try to showcase few of these works at the end of the session if we have some time left. Now coming back to my subject, which I had discussed with Dr. Bhojraj as well, that maybe I'll speak on a topic transformation of advertising ecosystem, and that's why I brought this thought in the beginning. Rather, I have a thought that it's not just a transformation of advertising ecosystem. Rather, it's not just for advertising, but the whole business world altogether. I'm sure you agree. It's not just the advertising sector that is changing fast, but every different kind of business or every human experience is changing as we go along from here. As a B school student, I'm sure you all read business news and other books related to business all the time, and few keywords are becoming more and more popular in the current context. And everybody is talking about them, particularly in the corporate world or with the startups, as entrepreneurship is getting much limelight in a recent time. Especially in our part of the world, South Asia, led by Indian entrepreneurs, success stories. And I'm sure you all have watched a TV program called Shark Tank. Being an MBA student, I'm sure you love this. And I'm also being told that this particular TV program is getting launched in Nepal very soon. Now, I want to make our session a little bit interactive. Can you tell me what are those keywords or subjects that are on discussion in marketing and advertising world today, or for that matter in the business world today. You can type those words in the chat box for all of us to see. Let me give you 2 minutes for the same.
Okay, good.
Where is the chat box? Unfortunately, I cannot see my chat box.
You can see like in the top right part.
Yeah, sometimes this technology can be very, disturbing as well. Therefore, maybe I think Rajni was the one who was introducing me in the beginning. Maybe she can read out if some
Yes.
people have typed it out, So maybe that can work for us.
Yeah, okay,
Somehow.
sir.
Yeah.
Okay, Rosary.
Let's keep 2 minutes, and if like you all can just write down in your chat box, like what are those keywords and subjects that are becoming more and more relevant in today's context.
Okay.
In the meantime, I will just leave and rejoin again so that maybe this has some problem with my system. Let me just rejoin, and like that might help. But
Okay.
Rajni, just keep a track.
Yeah, okay, sir.
Even now, I cannot see it. Therefore, I think Rajni is the one who need to help me.
I'll take a picture and then I'll send to you.
Yes. So that's all. Are you sending it to me? Was that?
Yes. No, just I want to show you the chat box.
Okay, very nice.
In the right part, you can see the leave. Yes, leave in red box. Then you come in left and left.
No, generally it comes. I know I've been using Teams for my meetings as well, but unfortunately today somehow it's not happening. It has happened to me before as well, like this. Therefore,
Okay.
I would say that maybe if Balaji, can you send me in the WhatsApp? Maybe I'll just check it there.
I can I can send the picture and then send to you in the
Yeah,
WhatsApp.
or you can do the screen sharing, no?
Yeah.
If you have taken the picture, you can do the screen sharing, and I can just read it out here. Somebody can do that.
Mm. Rajani, you can read it out from the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, sir. So Chirag is saying that impact investing, UI development, SEO optimization, and also other friends are saying digital marketing, emotional marketing, technological changes, e-marketing, niche marketing, green marketing, outsourcing, persuasive techniques, brand acquisition, and that SEO thing.
Okay, very nice, fantastic. So I think there are a lot more things that have come up, and
Yeah.
I'm very glad that you guys are also keeping update with what is happening. Therefore, it's very important as a business school students, like to keep on learning and getting updated on what is happening. It's not just for you; it's even true for me. In fact, like because things are changing so drastically. Now, I'm aware of, but like I said, there are a lot of things that has come from your side as well. But let me give you some of my subjects and thinking as well. Like in terms of advertising and brand marketing. Few key subjects like big idea. I don't know if somebody has written that, or data science. You know, because a lot of words has come from your end as well, and like I said, they are very important, but a lot of them are also very tactical. Um, Consumer insights, you know, machine learnings, or for that matter, business transformations, you know, are such topics which has taken a center stage in my profession of advertising and brand marketing today. And to tell you frankly, even I'm in the process of learning them and yet to understand some of these subjects properly. Like I said, our profession or any journey that we go on is a learning in process. But I know they all are going to be very important if I need to grow in my profession as I move from here. And one such key word which has been continuously used in advertising industry today is disruption. But disruption, as I know, is not just relevant for advertising industries, but it has larger implication in everything around us. I'll speak about few examples on this as we move ahead. One of the large international advertising group based in Japan, they are known as Dentsu, has coined a new corporate philosophy for the organization. They are now called creatively led, data driven, and technologically enabled. Just imagine Dentsu, which is almost 100-year-old advertising group, now is not just speaking about creativity, which largely used to be the core domain of advertising business, but they now also stands for data and technology, not just creative or media planning and buying, which is a traditional concept, as we all know. Similarly, the world's largest advertising group, WPP, has a new mantra for their organization and call themselves Creative Transformation Company. The word transformation is the key, as now the philosophy again is not just about being creativity or being creative, but to help their client transform their business as per the requirement of the hour. By the way, by the way, just for your knowledge, both these communication groups and other three such large group which controls almost 90% of advertising business across the world. WPP being the one, Dentsu, there is another company called Omnicom, there is another one called Publicis, and there is another one called Interpublic. These five conglomerate, I would say, because they have a lot of agency brands within them. They are all huge communication conglomerate which controls almost 90% of advertising business that happens in the world. And they are all registered either in New York Stock Exchange, either in London Stock Exchange, or either in Tokyo Stock Exchange as a listed blue chip companies. All these apps we use in our smartphones on daily basis like Facebook, YouTube, Google, TikTok, which has become very popular in recent time, Instagram, their business models are directly correlated with advertising revenues and data they generate in terms of understanding consumer habits, which is eventually utilized for advertising planning. In the context, they are even saying data is the new gold or the oil of this new world. So disruption is the word I will try to elaborate further as I speak today. Now, again, to make it a little interactive, can any of you attempt to tell me, what is disruption? You can unmute yourself to speak. I think that will be better in the current technological problem I'm facing. Can somebody try to define to me what is disruption?
So disruption as a way disturbance जस्तो क्रिएट गर्न नि मिल्छ. अब डिस्टर्बेन्स किन गर्छ भन्दा अहिले रिसेन्टली चाहिँ मान्छेले धेरै नै एडहरू देखिन्छ नि, त्यसले गर्दा हाम्रो सबकन्सियस माइन्डले एड ब्लकिङ गरे हुन्छ. अनि डिस्ट्रप्सन गरेपछि एउटा सडन फोकस वा सडन एउटा इम्प्याक्ट क्रिएट हुन्छ. अब अटेन्सन ग्राब गर्छ भने एउटा डिस्ट्रप्सन चाहिँ एउटा मेजर इफेक्ट हो जस्तो लाग्यो मार्केटिङमा.
Okay, very nice. Chirag, right? Chirag has just tried to explain his version of disruption. But disruption today is not just true for advertising industry, it's true for all the business. As an MBA student, I suppose we might go and join different sectors of business management tomorrow, and it is happening all across. But coming back to disruption, let me also define on my own way. Disruption is all about taking a risk. It's all about questioning the status quo or departing from the existing norms by breaking convention to accelerate growth in a broader sense. Like I said in the beginning, pandemic has changed many things. And one such disruption that is happening today is the way we are conducting this session, which could have been done more proactively in your classroom in a normal circumstances, right? A case in point is Zoom, because there is another famous platform beside Microsoft Teams. We all know that, that has 10 million participants in December 2019, now has over 300 million participants by April 2020. And I'm sure it has increased further by now. And one such disruptive trends in advertising business that was even clear before the pandemic was the move from traditional media to digital activities. The pandemic has further accelerated the digital transformation journey in the advertising industry. More attention is now focused on technology, e-commerce, data, and social media presence, and this will continue for some time. Similarly, the pandemic has added reasons for brand marketers to reduce the number of partners they have been working with. The need for efficiency, the need to stretch the marketing money. Going forward, advertising will be increasingly looking for consolidation of their marketing spends with fewer partners, largely for the purpose of integrated approach. Therefore, there is no room for separate digital or traditional or a media agency. All of them have to come together to offer a consolidated service. Digital is not about settling for the way things are being done in the past, but finding new ways of doing same or different things. It's about bringing radical changes. How can we do this in advertising? They say we can do that by creating contrasting messages which questions the existing norms, or by doing unusual presentations of our ideas. Technology has disrupted everything, from the product and services we use to the way we shop. Who are the key competitors for 5-star luxury hotels today, or a large format supermarkets is the key questions. Is Solti Hotel competing with Marriott or Radisson of this world? Who is the real competitor for Bhat Bhatini? That's the key questions we need to answer today in business because of technological disruption we all are going through. You can compete between regular competition, like Toyota competing with Maruti or competing with Hyundai or BMW, via traditional marketing process of differentiations or positioning. But how to compete with somebody who does not have similar product line like yourself, but at the same time fulfill the same or similar consumer need or requirements which you have been fulfilling for so many years is another key questions we need to think. Bharti is now not just competing with Salisbury or Big Mart of this world, or the neighborhood shop of Ramkrishna Dai or Sita Didi next to our homes. But they now have to compete with Daraz or Sasto Deal, smartphone-based app which people can use with the power of their fingertips, staying anywhere. Daraz, during the 11/11 campaign in 2021, had over 7 lakh purchasers and 12,000 sellers with over 30 crore worth of business in one day, which, which they could achieve almost 5 crore worth of business in a very fast hour. As you might be aware, Daraz is part of Alibaba Group, and 11/11, or they call it a single day campaign, is done by Alibaba companies all across the world. Excuse me. Alibaba did USD almost 74 billion business during the 11/11 campaign in one day across the companies in the world, which is much larger than the GDP of Nepal. The regular hotels like Hotel Himalaya, which is not far from the office, my office in Kupundol, now will have to compete with Oyo Rooms or Airbnb. It's almost like Viber, WhatsApp, or Messenger competing with mobile phone companies. So all the mobile operators are changing their strategy today, selling more data packages, more than voice or SMS. I'm sure you guys are also using more Viber or Messengers to speak to your friends and families than your telephone calls in the recent times. But please don't get confused. Not everything is only digital. The advertising transformation does not mean digital is the only future. Digital is like a new girlfriend, like you get infatuated when you have a new one. So everybody is talking about it. It's always cool to talk about change or a changed person. What we should not forget as a marketer is the consumer journey. If you study consumer journey, we can clearly map a person through their day, which crisscrosses between both digital world and a real world. Both goes hand in hand. In the process, the task is to build a narrative for a brand through the journey of the person, not just looking at things from a conventional format where we divide your journey sharply between digital and traditional touch points, but learning to acknowledge the fact that both go together. As in conventional marketing, we call it integrated approach to create a larger impactful brand story. Therefore, it has become more and more important to have the story of the brand. Why we are here? What does it matter? Who we are for? All these are very critical for the success of the brand. That's why I said marketing is largely a thinking job where you work to create clear brand strategy in terms of defining a target group, segmentation, positioning, a basic 4 Ps which we have all learned in our basic marketing studies. I'm sure you all remember Mr. Philip Kotler. It's not just about creating awareness, about product availability or functional benefit of that product, or showcasing a lifestyle related to brand uses, a prestige involved with it. But delivering message with empathy in context to the target consumer we cater to is going to be more and more important. What do we say? What do we do? What do we believe in? What are the behaviors? We actually need to align all these so we can drive and inspire others with a vision of our brand. Going forward, I strongly feel it will be an empathy which will help to create the salience for the brand. We have been talking about sheer economy in a globalized world where knowledge, opinions, views in the current globalized world. The hyper-connected world is increasingly providing more avenues to amplify this behavior. A happy person helps to attract and engage another person towards our product, idea, or the brand. The idea is to have an open relationship, and creativity will help to flourish the empathy further, and all the consumer touchpoints will need to be creatively humanized. Thank you for being here with me today and listening to me. I really hope I am able to inspire a little bit today morning, which might help you both as a student and later as a professional. I once again thank Dr. Bhojraj and Central Department of Management for this opportunity to speak with you younger minds. Now I'm looking forward to your questions so we can have some interaction around the topic I just discussed or anything else in relevance to my profession. I'll try my best to answer them, not guarantee that I can answer all of them. At the end of the Q&A session, I would like to showcase few of our recent work from the team. If we have a time, we can decide on that depending upon the time left with us.
Okay.
Now, if anybody has a question, please unmute yourself. You can also put on a camera if possible to see your face, and then we can start from there.
Very good. Okay. Okay, student can ask the questions to Ujay sir.
I have one question to you, sir.
Hello.
Devendra, yes, you can speak.
Devendra, you have a question?
Yes, sir. Sir, I have question, sir. How can digital transformation can be used to enhance the environment and social and the economical sustainability, sir?
Okay, I think it's a very difficult question you asked. First question that came across.
Anyway.
It's like you'll have to elaborate a little bit because I didn't understood it very well. Therefore, I would like you to elaborate it. नेपालीमा पनि गरे हुन्छ हैन? I can understand it very well. I will try to answer in both. Yeah.
Sir, because I'm saying this, sir, because half of the world population does not currently participate in the digital economy at all, and how can this reshaping the market ecosystem to produce the more inclusive and sustainable and trustworthy world? And this is my question, sir.
Got it, Devendra. So it's like that. You are true. That's what I'm saying. You cannot just say that digital is a thing, because it's like a new girlfriend, like I said, you get infatuated with the new person in your life, therefore, you have to acknowledge the fact that there is a digital world and there's a real world, right? So currently how we are dealing is the digital world, but then there's the real side of us as well. As soon as this session is over, we'll do a lot of things that is really, in our real life. Similarly, you talked about sustainability or something, some topic which is larger in nature. But like as an advertising professional, when I talk about these thinking, it's very important to see everything from a target audience perspective. If your target audience are digitally savvy, you utilize it as a primary means to do communication, because advertising and brand marketing is all about marketing communication, right? Therefore, generally you will have to see if these part of this chunk of people are available in digital world or the real world, and you have to utilize that particular media vehicles, I would say, or a consumer touch points to speak to them. Okay? Therefore, it's not about who is there or who is not there. It's about whom do you want to reach and whom do you want to communicate your message or convey your message. Therefore, if they are there in the digital world, you utilize it. If they are not there in the digital world, maybe like for example, I'll give you some example. We've done a lot of work for NCL as well, and at some point of time, it's very important for NCL to grow the rural, like users. Therefore, and there are a lot of media dark areas in Nepal, where even televisions doesn't have effective reach to certain audiences. In that context, what we did was we did a very traditional thinking, where we sent people door to door, telling them about NCL uses and value-added services. Therefore, media doesn't just mean that it's television, print, newspaper, or a digital formats that we have today. Media could be anything that communicate the message from one person to many or one person to one. It depends upon whom do you want to reach. But then again, coming back to your subject of sustainability, sometime, like when you define your target audience for certain campaigns, it's not just for the end consumer. Sometimes the influencers, the opinion makers, the change makers, the early adopters, they become very, very important. Therefore, you communicate the message to the influencers or the change makers, who are there in the digital platform, and they, understanding all this can convey it to the larger audience, because they have influence to those larger audience. Okay, Devendra, I hope I'm able to answer you.
So thank you, sir. I got it, sir. Very well.
Okay, next.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Hello, Ujay sir. So मेरो क्वेशन चाहिँ के हो भन्दाखेरि हामीले अहिले
भिडियो खोलोस् सो इज अन द लाइन
भिडियोको अलिकति यो इश्यू भएर हो सर
maybe you can introduce yourself.
So my name is
Chirag
Vikram Rai, first year MBA-Finance of CTMTU. अनि मेरो क्वेसन चाहिँ के हो भन्दा हामीले डिफ्रेन्ट कम्पनीहरूले कन्ट्रोभर्सियल एड गरेर देखिन्छ नि सर. सपोज युनाइटेड कलर अफ बेनेटनको डिफ्रेन्ट एडहरू हुन्छ, सेक्सुअल रेसियल एडहरू हुन्छ नि. तपाईँले भन्नुहुन्छ अब उनीहरूले डिस्ट्रप्सन क्रिएट गर्न खोजेको होला, तर त्यसको कज एन्ड इफेक्ट चाहिँ हामीले तपाईँले डाटा साइन्सको कुरा गर्नुभयो नि, उनीहरूले पनि त्यस्तो हेर्दैन. अब यसले इम्प्याक्ट साँच्चीकै इन अ पोजिटिभ वे ल्याउने हो कि मान्छेहरू यो ब्रान्डको अगेन्स्ट जाने कि त्यस्तो नि स्टडी गर्छौँ र हामीले.
अभियसली होइन, प्री र पोस्ट कोभिड प्री क्याम्पेन र पोस्ट क्याम्पेन स्टडिज हुन्छ होइन. अनफर्चुनेटली नेपाली एडभर्टाइजर्समा चाहिँ त्यो कल्चर अलिक कम छ होइन. तर नेपालमा पनि लार्जर ग्लोबल कम्पनीजहरू जो अपरेट गरिरहेछ उहाँहरूले चाहिँ यो चिजलाई अलि धेरै नै पोजिटिभली लिन्छ होइन. र प्री क्याम्पेन र पोस्टको क्याम्पेन एनालाइसिस हुन्छ त, त्यसले त्यो स्टडिजहरू सबै गर्छ. र आजको दिनमा तिमीले अघि भनेको छ डेटा साइन्सका कुराहरू पनि छन्. त्यसो धेरै चिज हामी इन्टरेक्सन इन्गेजमेन्टहरू डिजिटलको फर्मेटमा पनि गर्छौँ. एन्ड आइएम स्योर यु गाइज आर अवेयर द्याट दे आर टुल्स विच क्यान, when I say tools, it's a software, of course, because they are called tools to monitor all this conversation in the digital world. Positive conversation, negative conversation, neutral conversation, because the manchele garera sadhya nai hundaina haina. There are tools that you can utilize to track them, and even if it is going on a negative side, you can make a strategy to tweak it or twist it towards the positive side or neutralize the whole process. Therefore, there are agencies, in fact not just agencies, नेपालमा चाहिँ छैन त्यस्तो खालको एजेन्सी, PR agency होइन, which largely work in this format. They are also called the service is also called known as image management होइन. Therefore, they do these kind of image management in the digital world. Chirag, does that help you?
सर अर्को क्वेसन पनि छ. तपाईँले भर्खर भन्नुभयो नि त अब हाम्रोमा यस्तो PR टिमहरू छैन वा फिडब्याक लिने टिमहरू छैन. यसले देखाउँछ हाम्रो हाम्रो एड र मार्केटिङ इन्डस्ट्री चाहिँ डेभलप नभएको. अनि सपोज हामीले पढ्छौँ नि थ्योरिटिकली मार्केटिङ स्ट्राटेजीहरू पढ्छौँ डिफ्रेन्ट अब फ्ल्याङ्किङहरू पढ्छौँ हाम्रो फ्रन्टल असल्टहरू पढ्छौँ त्यस्तोहरू पढ्छौँ डिफ्रेन्ट हामीले नेपालको केसमा त्यस्तो सोचेर अप्लाई गर्छौँ कि पछि अप्लाई गरेपछि रियलाइज गर्छौँ हामीले यसरी इम्प्लिमेन्ट गरेको हो भनेर सर
यस्तो हो अब एप्लाई त सबैतिर हुन्छ होइन तर कस्तो भने प्र्याक्टिकल साइड पनि हुन्छ एउटा कुरा है प्र्याक्टिकल साइड त काम नगरिकन थाहा हुँदैन किताबमा पढ्न त धेरै मजा आउँछ मैले पनि एमबिए गरे हो मैले पनि तिम्रो जस्तै एमबिए गरेर यो इन्डस्ट्रीमा आएको हो होइन तर सबै चिज किताबमा पढेको ठ्याक्कै इम्प्लिमेन्ट पनि हुँदैन होइन तर देन इट डज हेल्प टु ओपन यर माइन्ड बिकज किताबले एउटा भनौँ न एउटा फर्मेट दिएको हुन्छ थ्योरीले एउटा चाहिँ फ्रेमवर्क दिएको हुन्छ जसभित्र बसेर तपाईँले काम गर्दाखेरि तपाईँले धेरै कुरालाई एनालाइसिस गर्न सजिलो हुन्छ बुझ्न सजिलो हुन्छ होइन र यस्तो धेरै यस्तो कुराहरू चाहिँ मैले देखेँ ग्लोबल कम्पनीजहरू जहाँ हामीले काम गरिरहेछौँ सर्टेन क्लाइन्ट्सहरूमा त्यो अहिले नेपालमा पनि एप्लिकेबल भइरहेछ र नेपालमा अझै पनि बढी झन्झन एप्लाई हुने परिप्रेक्ष्यमा छ नेपालको एडभर्टाइजिङ इन्डस्ट्री चाहिँ रिलेटिभली नयाँ छ होइन मैले बुझेसम्म अर्गनाइज एडभर्टाइजिङ सुरु भएको नेपालमा 20 वर्षभन्दा बढी भएको छैन भनेको स्पेस किनेर एडभर्टाइजिङ भनेको स्पेस किनेर बेच्ने मात्र होइन सुनिरहेछ बिचमा म डिस्कनेक्ट भयो जस्तो लाग्यो
ठिक छ
एडभर्टाइजिङ भनेको लार्जली अ थिङ्किङ जब हो क्या सोच्ने काम हो है त्यो सोच्ने काम चाहिँ रिलेटिभली हाम्रोमा कम थियो पहिला वान अफ द रिजन कुड बी हाम्रो नेपाल चाहिँ अलिक ट्रेडिङ इकोनोमी डिपेन्डेन्ट छ मान्छेले यहाँ सामान किनेर बेच्छ भने मतलब यहीँ बनाउनु भन्दा पनि कम्पनीहरूको आफ्नै प्रेजेन्स छैन यहाँ धेरै ठुल्ठुला कम्पनीहरूको अहिले आएर बिस्तारी भइरहेछ होइन जसले गर्दा चाहिँ अब त्यो ट्रेडर जसले चाहिँ सामान किन्छ उसको बेच्ने तर्फ ज्यादा हुने भयो त्यसो भएर हाम्रो एडभर्टाइजिङ ल्याङ्ग्वेज हामी के भन्छौँ ट्याक्टिकल र थिमेटिक भन्छौँ होइन यहाँ बढी ट्याक्टिकल क्याम्पेन हुन्छ क्या जसको मेन उद्देश्य चाहिँ जसरी भए पनि सामान किनेर ल्याएको सामानलाई कसरी सल्टाउने या कसरी बेच्ने भन्ने कुरा हो जुन थिम स्टोरी टेलिङ होइन त्यो चाहिँ रिलेटिभली कम हुने गरेको थियो विच इज नाउ चेन्जिङ भेरी फास्ट एन्ड क्लिन फिट पोलिसीले पनि त्यसमा धेरै ठुलो काम गरेको छ जस्तो लाग्छ र अझै त्यसको इम्प्लिमेन्टेसन इफेक्टिभली हुन बाँकी छ बिकज अनफर्चुनेटली क्लिन फिट आएको अक्टोबर 2020 हो जब चाहिँ हाम्रो यो कोभिडले गर्दा सबै इन्डस्ट्री नै ग्रस्त भएर बसेको अवस्था छ तर त्यो हुँदा हुँदै पनि अलरेडी लट अफ कम्पनीज आर इभल्भिङ एन्ड चेन्जिङ द स्ट्राटेजी फर दिस मार्केट बिकज उनीहरूले के भनिरहेको छ भने चाहिँ लोकल कन्टेन्टै बनाउनु छ भने लोकल कन्सेप्ट र थटलाई लिकन पनि गरौँ जुन पहिला एडभर्टाइजिङ एजेन्सीहरू हाम्रै जस्तै एडभर्टाइजिङ एजेन्सीमा क्लाइन्ट सर्भिसिङको रोल हुन्थ्यो या बिजनेस रिलेसनसिपको रोल हुन्थ्यो उनीहरूको रोल पनि अलिक चेन्ज भएको अवस्था छ उनीहरूको पहिला रोल चाहिँ मोर एन्ड एजुकेसन अपरेसनमा हुन्थ्यो भने अहिले चाहिँ उनीहरूको रोल र रिक्वायरमेन्ट चाहिँ थिङ्किङमा पनि ज्यादा भएको छ होइन एउटा त क्लिन फिट जस्तो पोलिसी जसले गर्दा लोकल्ली हामीले सर्टेन चिजहरू बनाउन परिसकेपछि लोकल कल्चरसँग त्यसको रिलेभेन्स के छ होइन लोकल सोसाइटिज भ्यालु सिस्टमसँग मिल्छ कि मिल्दैन भनेर सबै नापतोल गरेर जानुपर्ने अवस्था छ भने अर्को चाहिँ अब सोसियल मिडिया पनि लोकल्ली एक्टिभेट गर्न पर्दाखेरि चाहिँ सोसियल मिडियामा त अब पहिला जस्तो एउटा क्याम्पेन बनाएर 6 महिना चलाउने भन्ने हुँदैन इट्स अ अनगोइङ एक्सर्साइज होइन कसैले पेज एक्टिभ राख्नु छ भने एटलिस्ट केही नभए पनि महिनामा 10वटा त राख्नु पर्यो केही न केही पोस्ट एन्ड द अल दोज पोस्ट हेज टु हेभ सम रिलेभेन्स विथ द लोकल कन्टेक्स्ट बिकज लोकल फेस्टिभल हुनसक्छ होइन लोकल कल्चर रिलेटेड केही एस्पेक्ट्सहरू हुनसक्छ होइन अब लोकल जुन कन्ट्रीमा अपरेट गरिरहेको छ उसको नेसनल टिम जस्तै आजै हाम्रो टिमले मोरिसससँग खेल्दैछ एन्ड आइम रियली होप द्याट टुडे अल्सो वी विन इन द्याट गेम होइन त्यो परिप्रेक्ष्यमा होइन मोमेन्ट मार्केटिङ गर्नुपर्ने हुनसक्छ त्यही भएको हुनाले चाहिँ अहिले आएर चाहिँ द रोल अफ द एडभर्टाइजिङ फर्म एज अ पार्टनर मोर एज अ पार्टनर इज कमिङ अप and the things are changing for the good and I really hope that people like yourself who are millennials and who are more interactive in a digital platform as well from what I understood I'm sure you guys have more comprehensive level in digital world than us people like yourself coming to the team also have helped हाम्रो टिममा पनि अहिले धेरै तपाईहरु जस्तै यङ मान्छेहरु हुनुहुन्छ र we can see that your thinking and their thinking process works a little differently than ours and it has worked to certain extent. Therefore, we all work together to make things happen, and hopefully it will change for the better. I think Chiragai ho ke malai sodhne. Hopefully I'm able to.
Thank you, sir.
अहिले को छ अरु मैले यहाँ अविष्कार श्रेष्ठले पनि हारिरहेको थिएँ.
Hello, sir. I'm Avishkar Shrestha.
अँ,
And my question is more like related to philosophical point of marketing. Why has it been so important to label ourselves as child labor free? Because अब यो इन्डस्ट्रियलाइजेसनको पोइन्ट अफ भ्यूबाट हेर्दाखेरि पनि युरोपमा पनि बच्चाहरूले सानैदेखि कुनै एउटा इन्डस्ट्रियलाइजेसनको सेक्टरमा चाहिँ सानैदेखि काम गरेर स्पेसिफिक नलेज पाइरहेको हुन्छन् अनि हाम्रो यो नेपालको एजुकेसन सिस्टमले जुन कुरा दिन सक्दैन नि अब त्यो हुँदाहुँदै पनि चाइल्ड लेबर फ्री भनेर आफूलाई मार्केटिङ गर्न चाहिँ किन यस्तो इम्पोर्टेन्ट भयो अहिलेको करेन्ट वर्ल्डमा?
अब यो अलिकति तिमीले भने जस्तो यो अलिकति मेरो एरियाभन्दा बाहिरको परेको तर त्यसै पनि म एन्सर गर्छु, कोसिस गरौँला होइन. मैले बुझेसम्म चाहिँ नि अब सबैको एउटा सिएसआर गर्नुपर्ने एस्पेक्ट पनि छ होइन. अब यो चिज सिएसआरमा पनि पर्दैन, यो चिज भने एथिक्स हो क्या होइन. र अहिले आएर चाहिँ के कुरा आइरहेछ भने हरेक बिजनेसले पनि एथिकल्ली बिजनेस गर्नुपर्छ भन्ने प्र्याक्टिसेसहरू बढ्दै गएको अवस्था हो होइन. एन्ड पिपल लाइक युर सेल्फ, इनफ्याक्ट तपाईँहरू आजको दिनमा कन्ज्युमर हुनुहुन्छ, आई वुड से मिलेनियल्स होइन, पिपल हु आर बोर्न आफ्टर 1995. आई एम स्योर यु अल आर बोर्न आफ्टर 1995 होइन. I think guys like yourself are looking at those companies and brands who is giving back to the society or a community. Yeah? You know, it's not just about the uses of that product or your mongo cha, sasto cha, but you also want to be a morally responsible people. You know, in fact, that is happening in our family's value system also. You know, I think I was going through something in the net itself, and I'm sure you guys have also gone through that होइन. पहिलाको मान्छेहरूले काम गरे, मेरो बुवाको पालामा भनौँ, म जेनेरेसन वाइ भएँ, तिम्रो भन्दा माथिको जेनेरेसन भयो होइन. जेनेरेसन एक्स या मेरो बुवाहरूले काम गर्यो चाहिँ अब भनौँ न डे टु डे घर चलाउनुको निम्ति नै उहाँहरूले काम गर्नुभयो. त्यसपछि मेबी मेरो जस्तो जेनेरेसन वाइ आयो जसलाई घर चलाउनेमा त्यति सोच्नु थिएन, तर मेबी घरमा कसरी राम्रो वातावरण बनाउने होइन, अझै त्यसलाई इम्प्रुभ कसरी गर्ने, किनभने हामीहरू सबै इभल्भिङ सिचुएसनमा छौँ नि त. अब भाइहरू जस्तो नयाँ जेनेरेसन आइरहेछ जो मिलेनियल्स छ, तिमीहरूलाई आई थिङ्क यु सिन अ मोर अर्गनाइज सोसाइटी देन योर ग्रान्डफादर or your father, or now when you guys are coming in a way, even पोलिटिकल डिस्टर्बेन्सकै कुरा गर्ने हो भने पनि रिलेटिभली लेस होइन डिस्टर्बेन्स भएको टाइममा तपाईँहरूले आफूलाई एक्सपिरियन्स गर्न पाएको छ. वेराज म कलेजमा पढ्दाखेरि धेरै नै डिस्टर्बेन्स थियो, टायर बाल्ने होइन, सधैँ नै केही न केही बाहनामा बन्न भइराख्ने होइन, त्यस्तो खालको इन्भाइरोमेन्ट थियो. देयरफोर आई थिङ्क इट्स अल वी आर अल इन इभल्भिङ प्रोसेस एन्ड आवर निड इज अल्सो चेन्जिङ. देयरफोर अहिलेको मिलेनियल तपाईँहरू जस्तो जुन नयाँ जेनेरेसन छ, दे अल्सो सी इफ द ब्रान्ड अर कम्पनी इज ethically doing right things or not, and if they are not doing right thing ethically, you know, they will not utilize or they will not be comfortable using that product and services. And that's why companies are becoming more and more conscious in these kinds of thinking. Maybe I'm able to answer you, Abhiskar.
Sir, my question was about you. चाइल्ड लेबर भन्नाले एक्सट्रिम चाइल्ड भन्दा नि कुनै पनि एउटा स्पेशलाइज सेक्टरमा चाहिँ अब
बच्चाहरूलाई मैले बुझेँ होइन, किनभने म कम्पनीको मान्छे भन्दा म सर्भिस प्रोभाइडर पऱ्यो होइन. तर कस्तो भने चाइल्ड लेबर पनि एउटा एथिकल प्र्याक्टिस हो नि त. कसैले चाइल्ड लेबर राखेर गर्छ भने त्यसलाई त आजको दिनमा हामी अनएथिकल मानिन्छ नि त. मेबी आजभन्दा 50 वर्ष अगाडि 12 वर्षको बच्चाले पनि केही काम गर्छ फार्ममा भने त्यसलाई हामी पोजिटिभली लिन्थ्यौँ होला होइन, या त्यो हो इट्स अ रेगुलर प्रोसेस भनेर. तर आजको दिनमा कोही बच्चा 12 या 13 वर्षभन्दा तलकोले केही चाहिँ नि घरैमा पनि होइन सर्टन चिजहरू अलिकति एक्सट्रिममा उसलाई गराउँछ भने आजको सोसाइटीले त्यसलाई त्यति एक्सेप्ट नगरेको परिप्रेक्ष्य हो. त्यसै भएर अल कम्पनीज अल आवर फ्यामिली हामी आफै पनि एथिकल हुन कोसिस गर्छौँ होइन. हामी अर्काको अगाडि एउटा बिहेभ गर्छौँ होइन, मेबी द वे आई एम बिहेभिङ हियर एन्ड द वे आई बिहेभ विथ माई टिम within my agency is different, होइन, because I am meeting you for the first time. Therefore, हामी एथिकली राइट हुन खोज्छौँ जब हामी पब्लिक फोरममा हुन्छौँ, होइन, वेयरएज मेबी हामी आफूभित्रै हुँदाखेरि चाहिँ मेबी एथिकल्ली त्यो प्र्याक्टिसेसहरू हामी नल्याउँला, होइन। त्यो किन भइरहेछ भने त्यो कन्ज्युमरिजमको थट प्रोसेसमा अहिले त्यस्तो गइरहेछ क्या। तपाईँहरू जस्तो पढा लेखेको, होइन, अहिलेको हिसाबमा नेपालमा पनि एडुकेसन लेभल मान्छेहरूको, होइन, लिट्रेसी लेभल रेट पनि बढेको अवस्थामा चाहिँ नि सबैले सबै चिज हरेक प्रकारको काम बिजनेस लाइक आफ्नो घरको प्र्याक्टिसेसहरू पनि एथिकल हुनुपर्छ भन्ने थटमा आइरहेको बेला, अनि त्यही कारणले आई थिङ्क कम्पनीज आर डुइङ इट। अनि मैले अघि पनि त्यही इम्पिटीको कुरा गरे पनि त्यही हो। इम्पिटी भनेको के त? इम्पिटी भनेको अरूको परिप्रेक्ष्यमा बसेर हेर्ने, होइन, अरूले परिप्रेक्ष्यमा हेरेर अब त्यो मोरल्ली उनीहरूको दुःख, उनीहरूको राम्रो नराम्रो सबै पक्ष बुझेर काम गर्ने भनेको हो नि त। अनि यो पनि त्यसै भित्र पर्छ जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई।
ओके, धेरै हातहरू उठेको छ, होइन। आकाश सुशीलको उठेको छ, सुशील भट्ट छ। अब देवेन्द्र कोअर्डिनेट, किनभने लामो हामीसँग ओन्ली वी हेभ म्याक्सिमम हाफ एन आवर।
One question, sir. Good morning, sir.
गुड मर्निङ।
यसमा मैले नबुझेको कुरा चाहिँ आइडियल के अरे हाम्रो आइएमसीलाई चाहिँ के भन्छ इन्टिग्रेटेड मार्केटिङ कम्युनिकेसन भनेको एउटा आइडियल कन्सेप्ट हो, तर सबै बिजनेसले यसलाई एडेप्ट गरिसक्यो। सबै बिजनेस पोजिसनमा चाहिँ यो एडेप्ट भएको देखिँदैन, किन सर?
ठिक छ, आइएमसी भनेको एकदमै इम्पोर्टेन्ट परिप्रेक्ष्य हो, इन्टिग्रेटेड मार्केटिङ कम्युनिकेसन, लाइक यु राइटली पोइन्टेड आउट। एन्ड एभ्री टाइम म पनि सधैँ के भन्छु भने एउटा मिडिया भेहिकल युज गर्नुभन्दा, होइन, एउटा भन्दा बढी मिडिया भेहिकल युज गरेर त्यही मेसेज कम्युनिकेट गर्न खोज्दाखेरि त्यसको इफेक्टिभनेस ज्यादा हुन्छ, होइन। अब कसले त्यो गरे कसले त्यो गरेनमा त म हिसाब किताब गर्न सक्दिनँ, होइन, तर धेरै जस्तो हामीले काम गर्ने क्लाइन्टहरूमा चाहिँ जेनरली वी प्र्याक्टिस द्याट, है। लाइक फर इक्जाम्पल इभन एनसेलकै कुरा गरौँ न, होइन, एनसेलको कुरामा चाहिँ डिजिटलमा पनि हामी त्यति नै एक्टिभ छौँ, होइन, टिभी एडभर्टाइजिङमा पनि हामी त्यति नै एक्टिभ छौँ, आउटडोरहरू पनि हामी गरिरहेको हुन्छौँ, इभेन्ट एक्टिभेसन पनि गरिरहेको हुन्छौँ, होइन। देयरफोर अघि मैले भने जस्तो कम्युनिकेसनको बिजनेसमा या कम्युनिकेसनको प्रोफेसनमा चाहिँ नि सबैभन्दा पहिला सबैभन्दा इम्पोर्टेन्ट कुरा भनेको चाहिँ लक्षित समूह, टार्गेट ग्रुपलाई रिच आउट गर्नको निम्ति कुन चाहिँ मिडिया भेहिकल इम्पोर्टेन्ट हुन्छ र कुन चाहिँ मिडिया भेहिकल इम्पोर्टेन्ट हुँदैन या वेस्टेज हुन्छ, त्यो पनि बुझ्न जरुरी छ। इट्स नट जस्ट अबाउट जे छ सबै भयभरको सब युटिलाइज गर्यो भने पनि फेरि त्यसमा थ्रेसहोल्ड लेभल अफ कम्युनिकेसन भनिन्छ क्या। थ्रेसहोल्ड भनेको के भने जस्तै टिभी एड, होइन, टिभीमा कसरी बजाउने त, होइन, पर्टिकुलर टार्गेट अडियन्सलाई क्याटर गर्नलाई हो भने। सो हप्तामा सर्टेन भनौँ एउटा इक्जाम्पलको लागि 100 स्पटभन्दा बढी 100 चोटिभन्दा बढी कम बजायो भने मेबी त्यसको रिजल्टै आउँदैन क्या। सर्टेन नम्बर अफ स्पट भन्दा बढी बज्नुपर्छ भन्ने हुन्छ। त्यो पनि फेरि धेरै अरूको परिप्रेक्ष्यले डिटरमाइन गर्छ, त्यति सजिलो छैन। त्यसमा अब्जेक्टिभ हुन्छ, सबै हरेकचोटि बिजनेसको अब्जेक्टिभ या एडभर्टाइजिङको अब्जेक्टिभ सेल्स गर्ने मात्र हुँदैन, कहिलेकाहीँ माइन्ड गेम पनि हुन्छ, कहिलेकाहीँ चाहिँ माइन्डसेट या सोच परिवर्तन गर्ने पनि हुन्छ, होइन। कहिलेकाहीँ चाहिँ नि दसैँ आयो, अब दसैँमा चाहिँ अब डिस्काउन्ट दिएर बेच्ने हुनसक्छ या कुनै स्किम दिने।
टिमभित्रको कन्फ्लिक्टले कारणले पनि हुनसक्छ सर, टिमभित्र पनि हुन्छ नि कन्फ्लिक्टहरू।
अब त्यो भन्ने कुरा त बुझाउन सक्नु पर्यो, आफूले बुझाउन सक्नु पर्यो, होइन। अब हामीले काम गरेको कम्पनीहरूले चाहिँ यो कुरा बुझाएको छ, होइन। मैले अघि भने जस्तो चाहिँ इट इज नट नेसेसरी द्याट 10वटा टच पोइन्ट छ कन्ज्युमरको, त्यसलाई कन्ज्युमर टच पोइन्ट भन्छ, मिडिया पनि भन्दिनँ म, होइन। किनभने मिडिया भन्नाले हाम्रो ट्रेडिसनल थटमा के बुझिन्छ, टिभी, रेडियो, प्रिन्ट, होइन, आउटडोर मात्र या अहिले आएर डिजिटल मात्र मिडिया जस्तो मान्छेलाई लाग्छ कि होइन। मिडिया भनेको कुनै पनि त्यो माध्यम हो जसले चाहिँ नि हाम्रो मेसेजलाई भनौँ न, हाम्रो मेसेजलाई हाम्रो इन्टेन्डेड हाम्रो लक्षित समूहमा कसरी कम्प्रिहेन्सिभली बुझाएर पुर्याउन सकिन्छ, त्यो चाहिँ नि मिडिया हो। त्यो कुनै पनि फर्मेटमा हुन सकिन्छ, होइन। त्यसो भएकोले त्यो छ भन्दैमा भयभरको सब युटिलाइज गर्ने कुरा पनि आउँदैन, के बजेटको पनि कन्स्टेन्ट हुन्छ, होइन। बजेट पनि त इफेक्टिभ युज गर्छ, हामी के भयभरको सब मिडिया युटिलाइज गर्न बसेको पनि त होइन नि त, होइन। त्यसलाई कसरी इफेक्टिभली युटिलाइज गरेर बिजनेस रिजल्ट दिने ताकि बिजनेस पनि प्रफिटमा जाओस् भनेर बस्या हो नि त। भयभरको सब युटिलाइज गर्यो भने त सबै प्रफिट फेरि त्यसैमा खन्याउने जस्तो हुन्छ, होइन, पोसिबल प्रफिट पनि। त्यही भएको हुनाले लक्षित समूहलाई हेरिकन इन्टेन्डेड अडियन्सलाई हेरिकन म चाहिँ यसो के एडभोकेट गर्छु भने एउटा भन्दा बढी मिडियम चाहिँ नि युज गरौँ, ताकि एउटा मिडियम चाहिँ प्राइमरी मिडियम हुन्छ। जस्तै टिभी प्राइमरी मिडियम भयो भने डिजिटल कुड बी सेकेन्डरी मिडियम or a print could be secondary medium to reinforce the same message, हैन। टिभीले जुन स्टोरी टेलिङ गरिरहेछ भने त्यो स्टोरी टेलिङको जुन निष्कर्ष छ नि त्यो चाहिँ आउटडोर या प्रिन्टले त्यसलाई रिइन्फोर्स गर्न सक्छ। प्रोडक्ट क्याटेगोरीमा डिपेन्ड गर्छ, प्रोडक्ट लाइफ साइकलमा डिपेन्ड गर्छ। अघि भने जस्तो कम्युनिकेसनको अब्जेक्टिभ, ब्रान्डको अब्जेक्टिभ त्यो पोइन्ट अफ टाइममा के छ त्यसले डिटरमाइन गर्छ। धेरै कुराले त्यो चिजलाई डिटरमाइन गरेर लिएर जान्छ।
Okay, next Lakshmi can speak. Lakshmi.
ओके सर, मेरो भइसक्यो सर।
लक्ष्मीले भइसक्यो। ए लक्ष्मीकै एन्सर गरे हो।
नवीन आकाश
मैले गरेको सर, भइसक्यो। थ्यांक यू सर।
ओके, अब को बाँकी छ?
Sir, may I?
Yes. Who is he?
Sushil, I'm sorry, sir.
Sushil, okay. Yes.
For your valuable time. Sir, the day before yesterday, we have got the message that Ujay sir is coming from Outreach Nepal. And quick, I have searched in Google and I came to know about the page. And looking over the page, I came to know that the Himalayan Times has published one post that marketing moves is moving from 4 P's to 4 E's.
Oh. मैले नि लेखे हो।
Yes, sir. I have gone through that. That was published in Himalayan Post. Is it possible that Nepal is a developing country and many people are under poverty line and they are highly motivated by price rather than the experience evaluation of the product? Is it possible for Nepal to move from 4 P's to 4 E's? That's my question, sir.
Yeah, I got it. Sushil, very nice. Good that you've done some research as well and you come across one of my article. You know, actually, that thought is not mine. That thought was from one of my friends from China. I think I've mentioned his name also there. You know,
Yes,
because
sir,
I was there as a jury in one of the conference there, and during that time I have come across him and he has published a book on this particular thing, and I have read that book and I've kind of summarized and put it into an article and it was published in Himalayan Times. You are very right. So basically यस्तो हो सुशील, यसमा property line र non property line को कुरै आउँदैन है। It has no relevance in our marketing because value for money, yes, नेपालको रिलेटिभली हामी अन्डर डेभलप या डेभलपिङ कन्ट्री भएको भएर हामी सबैलाई चाहिँ अब हाम्रो लार्जर पपुलेसनलाई चाहिँ भ्यालु फर मनी इज भेरी भेरी इम्पोर्टेन्ट होइन। एभ्रिथिङ हेज टु बी कस्ट इफेक्टिभ टु रिच आउट टु मासेस भनौँ न, द लार्जर अडियन्स होइन, त्यो परिप्रेक्षित छ। तर इट डिपेन्ड्स अपन द ब्रान्ड क्या, इट डिपेन्ड्स अपन द ब्रान्डको टार्गेट ग्रुपको। नेपालमा गरिबै मान्छे मात्र छैन नि त होइन, नेपालमा सबै खालको मान्छे छ होइन। लाइक आई वुड से द्याट आई थिङ्क प्रपर्टी लाइनमा त वी आर नट इन द्याट ब्याड सेप। I think what is problem with Nepal currently is we still don't have a huge chunk of middle class, होइन। जेनरली मिडल क्लासले इकोनोमीलाई अझै बढी ड्राइभ गर्न सक्छ। इन्डियामा पनि त्यही भएको हो होइन, अहिले आएर चाइनामा पनि त्यही भएको हो र बङ्गलादेश जस्तो कन्ट्रीमा पनि अहिले मिडल क्लासको बुम भएर उनीहरूको इकोनोमी रिलेटिभली राम्रो हुन थालेछ। र मलाई लागिरहेको छ कि नेपालमा पनि अर्को 10 वर्षमा मिडल क्लासको अझै बढी बुम हुन्छ, किनभने तपाईँहरू जस्तो नयाँ मिलेनियल्सहरू जो चाहिँ नि अहिले होइन हाम्रो वर्क फोर्स आउँदै हुनुहुन्छ होइन। एज यु कम्प्लिट यर स्टडिज अर सर्टन थिङ्स द्याट यु बिन डुइङ अर सर्टन एज पछि यु अल विल बी कमिङ in the workforce of this country in a different format, in a management format or in other formats, vocabulary formats होइन। त्यस भएको हुनाले नेपाल जस्तो कन्ट्रीमा पनि छिटै मिडल क्लासको बुम हुन्छ जस्तो लाग्छ। तर मलाई लार्जली भन्नुपर्दा सुशील, इट डजन्ट डिपेन्ड अपन कन्ट्री स्पेसिफिक हुँदैन क्या, त्यो चाहिँ टार्गेट ग्रुप स्पेसिफिक हुन्छ। अब सपोज एउटा कुरा नेपालमा BMW गाडी पनि बिक्छ होइन, BMW गाडीमा त एक्सपिरियन्स नगराइकन, या नेपालमा स्यामसङको 1 लाख प्लसको मोबाइल फोन पनि बिक्छ होइन, त्यसको लागि त एक्सपिरियन्स र इन्गेजमेन्टै नगराइकन कसरी बेच्ने त, त्यो त भएन है। तर नेपालमा त्यसको साथसाथै मेबी 5 रुपियाँ जाने बिस्कुट पनि बिक्छ, 5 रुपियाँ जाने स्न्याक्सको प्याकेट पनि बिक्छ। अब त्यसको लागि चाहिँ मेबी लाइक टार्गेट अडियन्स डिफ्रेन्ट हुन्छ। त्यही स्न्याक्स या बिस्कुटको प्याकेट पनि अब भाटबटीमा गयो भने 300 रुपियाँको पनि बिस्कुट प्याकेट पाइन्छ होइन 5-10 रुपियाँको पनि 10 रुपियाँको भनौँ न 5 रुपियाँको के पाएला आजको दिनमा होइन 10 रुपियाँको बिस्कुट प्याकेट पनि पाइन्छ त्यो 10 रुपियाँको बिस्कुट प्याकेट त्यही कम्पनीले बनाइरहेछ भने पनि उसको टार्गेट अडियन्स फरक हुनसक्छ त्यस भएर उसलाई रिच आउट गर्ने उसलाई कम्युनिकेट गर्ने माध्यम या द होल प्रोसेस अफ मार्केटिङ कुड बी डिफ्रेन्ट एन्ड त्यही कम्पनीले सपोज 300 जाने बिस्कुट बनाइरहेछ भने होइन मेबी द टार्गेट अडियन्स इज डिफ्रेन्ट जसले एउटा बिस्कुट प्याकेटमा 300 रुपियाँ खर्च गर्न सक्छ त्यो टार्गेट अडियन्सलाई रिच आउट गर्नको निम्ति maybe we need different mediums. The way we communicate with them is all going to be different. Nasmi, you know.
Okay, thank you, Ujay sir. You can show your showcasing. That would be interesting for us, and then we have to conclude.
Sure. Okay. So then, in that context, I have very few films which are recently done by my team.
Okay.
2021 my gareko ho. Let me focus that. I'm just opening that file. There are only 4 films that I brought because
it's okay. It's okay.
Time also. Sound आइगे आएर चाहिँ मलाई भन्नु पर्छ है.
Yes, ठीक छ.
मैले अहिले देखियो?
Yes.
देखियो है. The sound आएर भनेर भन्नु है सरले.
Answer your Viber को साथ आफ्नो messaging needsहरु पूरा गर्नुहोस् अब answer back को साथ top Viber messaging data पाउनुहोस्
साउन्ड आइरहेको थियो सर
क्लियर त्यस्तो क्लियर थिएन तर इट्स ओके
ओके एनीवे पछि यो चाहिँ एउटा भयो अर्कोमा जान्दैछु
तिम्रो फोनमा डेटा छैन हो छैन अब आफ्नै मोबाइलमा आफ्नै आवश्यकता अनुसारको कच्चोको डेली जिबी प्याकेज ढुक्कसँग डेटा चलाउनुहोस् अझै एन्सरको एप वा वेबसाइटमै एस्ट्रिक 1713 # गरी खरिद गर्नुहोस्
Let me show you another one.
पोखरा जाने अझै 1 घण्टा ढिला भएको जानकारी 1 घण्टा क्या बोर यार Mood ding dong Skip, 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 Shine dry lips by hide no garners. This line here garners. Take care of your lips without using your finger. Himalayan lip balm, 100% herbal active lip भनेको यसले राख्छ तपाईको लिप्सलाई soft and nourished. यो पनि हुनाले नछोइकन. Beautiful lips को लागि swipe on Himalayan lip balm. खुशी रहनु, कुशल रहनु.
Yes, मेरो some of the work done by my team. I hope it was interesting for you all.
Okay, very good.
And I just भोजाजी म एउटा सानो चीज देखाउन चाहन्छु उहाँलाई.
Okay, okay.
In relevance to what we talked, there is a small video of one I think less than 2 minutes, which I'm going to showcase because I think this is also could be quite interesting for them. मैं अपलोड गर्दैछु एक मिनट किन देखाएन यो एनीवे मैले पुरा स्क्रिनै मेरो शेयर गरे है अहिले देखिरहेछ
देखेको छु सर
देखिरह ल
We've become obsessed with communications. Communications is about 5 to 8% of the marketing challenge. The other 95% is other stuff. But somehow now all we talk about is comms. There are always 3 steps in good marketing. First, we diagnose what's going on. Second, we develop a strategy. Strategy has got nothing to do with tactics. Nothing. Yeah? It's cold and it's blue and it's been the same for more than 2,000 years. And then finally, the tactics deliver on the strategy. Mostly we think of tactics in an old-fashioned world, I do, as the 4 Ps, even though they don't stand with Ps, right? What are the tactics that we marketers use? Sure, communications, distribution channels, the product itself, and pricing. They're all equally important. And a good marketing plan, at least the ones I've seen over the years, they normally do a pretty good diagnosis, clear strategy, good tactical delivery, and we all make money. But that's not what's been happening. What's been happening is what I call communification. I made that word up. What that means is we don't bother with tactics anymore. Where were the presentations on pricing and distribution this week? We don't bother with that, and we just focus on communications. We don't call it communications. We call it, content marketing, and we call it, social and digital and TV. But the point is, it's just comms. It's a small part of marketing. It gets worse. We also do what I call tactification. In most companies in this country, strategy anymore. There's just tactics and mostly just comms. We've lost the ability to build a strategy.
Okay, this is what I wanted to focus, and that is what is I feel is actually happening.
Yes.
हामी बढी ट्याक्टिक्सको कुरा गर्छौँ, स्ट्राटेजी हामी बिर्सिन्छौँ के आजको दिनमा हैन वेयर स्ट्राटेजी इज एक्चुअली द मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेन्ट पार्ट ट्याक्टिक्स भन्नाले अब सोशल मिडिया गर्नु पर्यो डिजिटलमा एड हाल्नु पर्यो टिममा एड हाल्नु पर्यो भने द्याट्स हाउ वी स्टार्ट द्याट विल अल फल इन प्लेस इफ वी हेभ अ राइट स्ट्राटेजी एन्ड हाम्रो बिजनेस अब्जेक्टिभ के हो हाम्रो इन्टेन्डेड अडियन्स के हो उनीहरूलाई हामीले के भन्न खोजेको हो हाम्रो उद्देश्य के हो त्यो सबै बिर्सेर पहिला चाहिँ नि हामी फेसबुकमा एड हाल्नु पर्यो टिभीमा एड हाल्नु पर्यो युट्युबमा एड हाल्नु पर्यो भने त्यसरी कुरा गर्छौँ क्या होइन एन्ड द्याट्स वेयर आई सपोज वी आर अल गोइङ रङ एन्ड आई होपफुली इट विल चेन्ज एज वी गो फ्रम हियर
मेरो लास्ट एउटा क्वेसन छ जस्तो आई गो फर द पोलिसी म्याटर आफ्टर द एडभर्टाइजिङ पोलिसी इम्प्लिमेन्टेड इन नेपाल हाउ इज द सिचुएसन अफ द प्रोडक्सन हाउसहरूले जब यो एडभर्टाइजिङले त धेरै एभेन्युज खोले पोलिसी पछि नेपालको क्रिएटिभ सेक्टर पनि प्रोडक्सन हाउसले आफूलाई अपग्रेड गरेको छ कि छैन के पोजिसन छ अहिले बनिरहेको विज्ञापनहरू यही बन्छन् कि बाहिर बन्छन्
यो सबै विज्ञापन मैले जुन देखाएँ तपाईँलाई होइन यो सबै नेपालमै नेपालकै टिम क्यामेराम्यान सिनेमाटोग्राफरदेखि लिएर डिरेक्टरदेखि लिएर एक्टर्सदेखि लिएर टेक्नोलोजी जो स्पेसल इफेक्ट्सहरू छन् टेक्नोलोजीदेखि लिएर सबै चिज नेपालमै भएको देफोर नेपालको क्रिएटिभ इन्डस्ट्रीमा मेरो अहिलेको दिनमा केही डाउट छैन होइन इनफ्याक्ट एउटा दुईवटा फिल्म चाहिँ हामीले नेपाली नै एक्टर लिएर बाहिर पनि बनाएको छौँ इन्डियामा या रिसेन्टली हामीले दुबईमा पनि एउटा गरेका छौँ तर त्यो भन्दैमा नेपाली टिमले नसक्ने छैन आजको दिनमा नेपालको टिम इन टर्म्स अफ प्रोडक्सन क्यापेसिटी इज अलमोस्ट अलाइन इन द साउथ एसिया लेभल तर इनफ्याक्ट इन्डियन विज्ञापन पनि कति हामी हेर्छौँ त्यो विज्ञापनमा पनि कतिचोटि उनीहरूले हलिउडको एक्टर्सहरू सरी हलिउडको टेक्निसियन्सहरू युज गरेका हुन्छ क्या इभन मुभीमा पनि युज गरेका हुन्छ त्यही परिप्रेक्ष्यमा एग्रिकल्चर हामीलाई पनि गर्नुपर्छ अदरवाइज लाइक नेपालको जुन टेक्निकल नो हाउ छ इन टर्म्स अफ क्रिएटिभ इन्डस्ट्री इट्स अलमोस्ट इन पार विथ साउथ एसिया अभियसली बम्बेसँग कम्पेरिजन गरेर त भएन होइन बट ह्याभिङ सेड द्याट हाम्रो ल्याकिङ चाहिँ कहाँ छ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ हाम्रो ल्याकिङ चाहिँ थिङ्किङमा छ क्या मैले भनेको छु हाम्रो टिम हाम्रो मान्छेहरू जेनरली मेबी हाम्रो रिलेटिभली नयाँ इन्डस्ट्री भएर पनि होला हामी ज्यादा सर्फेसियल छौँ हामी पेरिफेरलमा बसेर मात्र कुरा गर्छौँ क्या आउटलाइनमा मात्र बसेर हामी भित्र डिप ड्राइभ गरेर त्यो सब्जेक्टलाई अझै बुझेर भित्र जान सक्दैनौँ या सकेको छैनौँ त्यसै भएको हुनाले मलाई चाहिँ नि अहिलेको नयाँ जेनेरेसनबाट चाहिँ नि मेरो के थट छ भन्दा चाहिँ मोस्ट प्रायबली अब आउने जेनेरेसनले चाहिँ नि यो चिजहरूलाई सबैलाई बुझेर समेटिएर चाहिँ नि लिएर जान सक्नुहुन्छ भन्ने मेरो थट हो हैन। त्यस भएर अब मैले अघि भने एडभर्टाइजिङको प्रोफेसनमा चाहिँ अहिले सबैभन्दा प्रायको टिम भनेको चाहिँ प्लानिङ थिङ्किङ गर्ने मान्छेहरू हो क्या, सोच्ने मान्छेहरू। सोच्ने भनेर क्रिएटिभ स्टोरी लाइन होइन, स्क्रिप्टिङ होइन, त्यसमा हामी सक्छौँ होइन। त्योभन्दा पहिला स्क्रिप्ट बनाउनुभन्दा अगाडि चाहिँ स्ट्राटेजीहरू ठिक हुनु पऱ्यो नि त। मैले कन्ज्युमर इन्साइट्सहरू बुझ्नु पऱ्यो, कल्चरल एस्पेक्ट नेपालको परिप्रेक्ष्यलाई बुझेर नेपाललाई मिल्दो जुल्दो खालको चाहिँ कन्सेप्टहरू लिएर आउनु पर्यो होइन। त्यसमा चाहिँ हामी अलिकति विक छौँ, बट आई थिङ्क इट विल इम्प्रुभ। इट इज अलरेडी स्टार्टेड टु इम्प्रुभ एज वेल. सम अफ माई टिम मेम्बर्स आर अल्सो डुइङ ग्रेट जब्स. I think it is evolving and it will evolve further. Raji.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we are in the end of the session. Maybe a student can speak on the vote of thank, and then we'll be conclude. Okay, who is going to speak?
Sir,
Okay.
On the behalf of Central Department of Management and MBA-Finance second batch student, I and my friend really heartily would say the word of thanks to our guest, Mr. Ujay Shakya sir, who prepared the time from his busy schedule to us, so we're able to get the opportunity to hear you thought and this will surely going to help us to sharp our knowledge on the advertising ecosystem. Your thought have enlightened our mind and have shown us in the new path. Sir, we say surely this thought will be change our thought labels, and we also like to thank our sir, Professor Dr. Bozar Aral sir, who make to possible to this event. And not but the least, I would like to thank to our management and all our friends who making so interactive class, and thank you all. And I would like to invite Professor Dr. Bozar Oral sir to provide token of love to our Ujay Shakya sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, let me just give a concluding, like small.
Okay.
Thank you once again for this opportunity to speak to you all. Thank you to my friend Dr. Bozras as well for providing me this platform to interact with the younger minds like yourself and share my views. I really hope I'm able to inspire few of you to be a better human being, potentially a good professional, and more empathetic towards each other. If you want to be in touch with me, unfortunately, the chat box is not working today, some technological problem. I'm going to send my LinkedIn details to Dr. Bhosraj.
Okay.
So you can be in touch to me through my LinkedIn profile, which I will just send it to him after this session in his WhatsApp, and maybe Dr. Bhosraj can, put that in the student group. I'm sure you guys have student group as well. I'm also going to give him some of the link of some of the articles that I have written in a recent time in last 2 years, particularly with regard to Nepalization, which got published in different places outside Nepal as well, because inside Nepal publication you can get access to, but outside Nepal publication you might not be aware or you might not be able to get access to. So I'm going to give those links also to him, and I hope the podcast will share that with the student group, and hopefully Those articles will also help to motivate you to become a better professional. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, Ujayji. Very good, very interactive session. But I got it. I wish all the best, like you, young entrepreneurs. I expect in the coming days, uh, uh, like today, your continuous support to us so that students can inspire and motivate from you. Thank you so much and have a good day. Thank
Same to
you.
you all. Have a nice day. Bye bye.
Okay, bye bye. Right now the class has concluded. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
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 हाम्रो नेक्स्ट क्लास 10 बजेबाट हो